Hey, hon, you want to watch? No? Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? I'm a little bit behind on my reading, but for right now, I want to talk about Fright Night Origins. Now, for those of you who've followed my channel from the beginning, or anybody who has an appreciation for 80s films or anything like that, 1985's Fright Night is just like one of the greatest. One of the greatest vampire movies ever made, in my opinion. And honestly, like up there in the 80s category as well. Okay, just really great. It was an honor to meet Chris Sarandon last year. Just really chill guy. Just awesome. He just oozed awesomeness. One of my faves. And this book was a gift for my friend Dr. Westlake a couple years back. And the thing that I like about it is this is sort of like the other half of the original Fright Night. The story is told from the perspectives of characters that are in the movie, but like at different times. And as I was reading it, I could kind of think to myself, like, I know exactly what's happening in the movie right now. But for example, a lot more time is spent with the detective. You get like more insight into Jerry Dandridge's past, into Billy Cole's past, and his relationship with Jerry Dandridge. You get more into like Evil Ed. There's just a whole bunch of story. It's told from like all the murders that you hear about in the movie, you are privy to in this book. Like you see it from the angle of the vampire like attacking, okay? And then more having to do with the aftermath and detectives, kind of. And then after a certain point, the book just sort of follow the movie pretty nicely. One thing that I thought was interesting is Evil Ed's character. Now, Stephen Jeffries, if you watch my Fright Night review from season 1 going back to 2016, okay, Stephen Jeffries went into gay porn. So I'm going to go ahead and assume he's gay. He sure seems it. It's in the chapter where he goes down the alley and Jerry Dandridge is about to get him, and they basically say that it is relevant to what is about to happen, that Evil Ed, though he's never acted on it, is like gay in his head. Like he's attracted to men. Women don't really do it for him. He's not attracted to Charlie Brewster. He thinks that he's kind of boring, sort of a deal. And normally I'd say like, all right, did you really have to do that? Like, George Takei played, what's his face? What the fuck is his name? Sulu, okay? And, even George Takei said, like, okay, I'm gay, but you don't have to make Sulu gay. Like, but the way, because Stephen Jeffries, like, his performance as Evil Ed was always kind of off and almost kind of didn't make sense. Like, wow, this guy's, like, a real weirdo. Like, what's his deal? But, like, having that context kind of makes it make a little bit more sense. And, like, the fact that, because he basically says, or through his own description in the book, he can't tell if Jerry Dandridge has genuine sympathy for him or if it's just kind of like a play. But, when he says, like, they won't hurt you or pick on you anymore, I'll see to that. He does seem to have a very genuine, like, sympathy for Evil Ed. And like he knows, like, I know you're an outcast. And I also like in the book because they say, like, being gay wasn't cool in the 80s, and it's like, yes, thank you, Stranger Things, yes. Like it's grounded, it's of its time, and I appreciate that. And again, for the context of that scene, it made a lot more sense. The cool thing about this book, and it even says right on the back, is this is supposed to be the first of a trilogy of books, all right? And this is written by Tom Holland and Jack Ulrich. I don't know who Jack Ulrich is, but Tom Holland, he's the man. All right. On a personal note, it was the damnedest thing. It was crazy. I'll show you what I wrote. But I was at my in-laws and I was just like balls deep in this book. And I was just wondering to myself, I'm like, I wonder when the second book is going to come out. Lo and behold, Tom Holland on X that day posts something about the next book, which is currently available. And it's actually a prequel that takes place in the 1970s. And it follows Jerry Dandridge and Billy Cole in that time frame, which, I'm really looking forward to. I do intend to order it. Although I do have a few books coming up. For example, Muscle by John Davies. Okay, this is my next project. I have a whole list of indie authors that I have to get to. I'm not saying this is going to be the next video, but like my next book review, this, okay? But then I had also heard that they're going to do a third book which is an actual sequel to Fright Night, kind of pretending that Fright Night Part 2 never happened, which, I don't know. I mean, I could take it or leave it. Like Fright Night 2, I think, is an amazing sequel, but if they come up with an amazing sequel co-written by Tom Holland, hey, I'm there for it, you know? But I had heard tell that both Jerry Dandridge and Evil Ed might be coming back. And when Tom Holland posted this, I basically told him that. And he freaking wrote back. Guys, look, by this point, I've met the Phantasm cast. Okay, I mean, hell, I met Chris Sarandon. I met freaking Heather Langenkamp. Like, I'm satisfied, okay, as far as, like, the celebs that I could meet. Phantasm was beyond my bucket list, frankly. Anything else at this point is just a bonus, but it was still quite a thrill to hear directly from Tom Holland, and he does seem to hint that there's a possibility that they will be making a return. So I really look forward to that. But guys, if you were a fan of the original Fright Night from 1985, there's no way you're not going to enjoy this book. It really fills in like all the cracks of the story, like the inner monologue of a bunch of characters, and just it shows you everything that happens that you don't see in the movie. It's the perfect companion piece to the movie. If you want the whole story, definitely recommend checking out Fright Night Origins, all right? Has anybody read this, or has anybody seen either of the Fright Night films or either of the new Fright Night films? Let me know what you thought. Thank you, as always, for watching. I appreciate you. Consider subscribing, and that's all she wrote.